The independent MHA for Mount Pearl South, Paul Lean, is on the line. Paul, how are you?
I'm great, Darrell, and that'd be Southlands, by the way, just to get the record straight.
Mount Pearl Southlands, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I probably just Mount Pearl Southlands. Well, consider it locked in until the next time I call you out.
Yeah, it got changed during the when they had the boundary review there.
Exactly.
A while back.
Yeah.
And they combined what was Mount Pearl South, and they took Southlands and that surrounding area from Kilbride and added it to Mount Pearl South. So now Mount Pearl Southlands, and I proudly represent people not just in Mount Pearl but also in St. John's.
A very convenient new name to bring in Southlands.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Darrell, that's not why I called. I just wanted to call again. I've been raising this issue publicly now for a while, and I want to continue to do so. And it's the issue of Nalcor. And what I've been doing is I've been calling on. Well, first of all, just to go back a bit, on July the 5th, I wrote the Premier and asked the Premier would he ask the Auditor General to come in and do an audit of Nalcor, given, I guess, all of the things that have gone on related to, Dark NL, the subsequent Liberty report, or I should say Liberty reports, because there was two now, basically showing that maintenance wasn't done, and that was the cause of us, I guess, going into dark. The fact that there was bonuses paid out to the executive when they couldn't keep the lights on. We've seen, of course, the issue with the former CEO and his departure, the controversy around that. We've had allegations of conflict of interest made by the former board chair before he was leaving, and of course we have all these overruns and project delays at Muskrat. So if there was ever a government entity that required the Auditor General's attention, I really believe it is Nalcor. Of course, like I said, I did write the Premier in July the 5th, did not receive a response from him first nor last, so I took it on myself to contact the Auditor General's office myself, and I was told that they did not require the Premier's go-ahead to do an audit of Nalcor or any other government entity, and basically that they sort of decide for themselves each year. They'll pick so many places to audit. Mm-hmm. And so I asked, well, how do we get Nalcor on that list? Because I think it should be a priority. I was told to write the AG, which I did, and I was further told that, and part of their decision-making process would be, the more, I guess, public outcry or the more concerns raised about a particular entity, the more likelihood they would audit it. So
yeah, this is one of the more,
I'm asking everyone to contact the Auditor General.
It was one of the more interesting stories. I'm surprised it never got more attention last week, because I found it surprising that to get a response from the Auditor General, that if more people, like a sort of critical mass of people, complain about the same thing, that is more likely of an opportunity that the Auditor General will look into. But did that surprise you?
Well, a little bit, but I suppose when you think about it, Darrell, there are so many government departments, agencies, boards, commissions. There are so many divisions within those departments, and there's only so much, resource the Auditor General has. So, given that, they can only basically, I suppose, spot check to some degree, different places, and they sort of look at, each year, well, where have we been to lately? Where haven't we been? And I could see where, I guess, part of the consideration would be, well, where are some areas that we have concern, or where are some areas that the public has concern? So, I'm really surprised based on that the Auditor General's office has, on their own accord, decided to basically do an audit of Nalcor, given all that's gone on. But with that said, if they haven't done it, I've been told that if there is public outcry, then that would be a factor in terms of their decision-making process. So,
obviously, Paul, they don't listen to Open Line, because if they did, they'd notice that lots of people are concerned about it. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm shocked that they haven't done it on their own. So, again, I'm asking people to contact the Auditor General's office. The email there, I just want to put it out there, is, and this is all public anyway, but is OAG, which I guess would stand for Office of the Auditor General, OAG mail at OAG.nl.ca. And, it's only a matter of just sending a quick email, just saying you have concerns with Nalcor, you would like the Auditor General to do an audit. Darrell, the final point I want to make on it, because a couple people have gotten back to me and have raised the issue of cost around this, and, they thought, well, we're going to spend all this money to bring in the Auditor General, and, you know, they're not going to do nothing with it anyway. Like a lot of, you know, people have that cynical attitude, and I can understand why they do. I just want to put it out there that the Auditor General has an office and has staff, and they have resources, and they have a budget. If they're not investigating or auditing Nalcor, they're only going to be auditing some other government department or agency anyway. So it's not like we're talking about additional resources. What we're saying is take the resources that you have, that you would be utilizing anyway, and make Nalcor your number one priority. That's what we're asking.
Thanks for this, Paul. Before I let you go, I got to tell you, I was out to catch a little bit of a soccer tournament at the, I guess would have been the Team Guju complex. Heard a lot about it, but this is the first time I was there, and I was like gobsmacked at the fact that there is a upper soccer field, which is beautiful. Then you go around the turn, there's a nice canteen area and a lower soccer field, and then you can continue on walking where there's actually another soccer field in the bottom. There was like hundreds of kids around. And so I'm just going to take the opportunity to, say kudos to the people of Mount Pearl who have really taken it upon themselves to show the importance of sports in community and just how many people were there, how many kids are involved. I heard about the great program that the city of Mount Pearl is offering for kids, where they're doing full weekly programs, which includes 5 mornings of soccer, and then you might have swimming or rugby or something else in the afternoon. Yep. All good outdoor stuff that doesn't involve a blue screen. Absolutely, I agree. And Mount Pearl has always been known for its tremendous sporting community, and we certainly have great infrastructure in place now to accommodate a lot of sport. I know the city is putting an even stronger focus now on sport and activity, and they're actually trying to, promote Mount Pearl as the venue of choice when it comes to sports in Newfoundland and Labrador. And I believe the tagline they're using is "Come to Mount Pearl to play." And we certainly have the infrastructure. We certainly have all the volunteers and athletes and so on here to make any recreational activity a great success, as we've done and proven many times. And my hats off and kudos to Mayor Sims and the members of City Council, and to all of the staff with Community Services and all the volunteers and the Mount Pearl Sport Alliance, and for all they've done to promote sport in our city. Great things happening for sure. They could easily say come to Mount Pearl to live longer, too, because there's no excuse for not getting a bit of exercise out there. No, that's for sure. Whether it be active, whether it be organized sport, whether it be, just passive recreation in terms of the walking trails and all those things, certainly have it all in Mount Pearl. Darrell, I want to thank you for your time. And my final note before I go is I just want to fire a little shot across the bow, as you would say, to Newfoundland Power, and ask them to, boys, come on, get your act together, and let's get the money to people that are owed all this money for these overcharges. I can guarantee if it was the other way around and people owed them money, that they'd be sending out notices that they're going to cut their lights if they don't pay the money. And for people to be waiting this long is just ridiculous in my mind. I know that it's not necessarily easy. There's a bit of work to it for sure, but this has gone on way too long. And I know the Consumer Advocate has been after them as well. And I'm just asking the folks at Newfoundland Power and whoever is in charge of getting this done, boys, get it done and give people the money that they're entitled to. It's their money. Giddy up. Wouldn't be a week here on this open line program if someone didn't mention that, Paul, so you just started it off for the week. Look out. All right, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. All the best, Darrell. Always a pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.